What's going on, freedom fighters? How we doing today? We're back at it again with another awesome YouTube video for you guys today. In today's video, my chat and I have a discussion about which is better, the United States Navy SEALs or the Army Green Berets. By the way, if you would like to be part of that conversation on Twitch, twitch.tv/JadTheRad. Link will be in the description below. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 Central, and Mondays are usually our military Mondays for content that we post on YouTube. Speaking of awesome communities, we're 3 members away from having 100 members in our Discord. So if you want to be part of Freedom Fighter Nation Discord, link will also be in the description below as well. Before we get into the video, let me know what your thoughts are as opposed to which is better, the Navy SEALs or the Special Forces Green Berets? And what videos would you like for me to make in the future as well? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Let's go ahead and dive right into that content, right? Versus Army versus Navy SEALs. Special Forces, Army Green Berets versus Navy SEALs.
What are you doing, step bro?
Bro, I'm here clapping my cheeks. What do you think I'm doing, bro? This is the video right here. Let's talk about what we know so far, or at least what I know so far about the Green Berets versus Navy SEALs, all right? So, as far as I understand, they are very similar in what they do, but they're also very different. Their branches are completely different. As you know, one's Navy, which is the Navy SEALs, and you have one Army, which is the Army Special Forces Green Beret. Since the invention, and it's going to go over this video because I watched it a little bit before I got on stream. Since the invention of the Special Forces community, their roles were very different.
Hello, motherfucker.
Well, hello, Slim. Welcome to the chat. And their roles have changed as time has gone on. So over their history, right? Special Forces in the Green Berets, they were created in the 1950s after, well, they were created during World War II, but they really weren't solidified until John F. Kennedy came into office. So what their job was to do was to train.
I'm sorry, what? Pit of misery, dilly dilly.
Devious Gaming, thank you for the follow, bro. I appreciate that, dog. Hope you have a great night. Hell yeah. So, Special Forces community, they are not all Billy Badass fucking going killing terrorists and hunting the bad guys like Osama bin Laden type of thing, okay? They, in fact, are designed to build militias and train them on guerrilla warfare tactics. So, for example, there was during Vietnam, right, when you had not North versus South Korea, what they would do is they would train militia groups during Vietnam on how to do different tactics. And what does that mean? They had to learn their language, they had to understand the culture and everything, and they trained them on guerrilla warfare tactics over in Vietnam, right? Their job was not to be tier 1 class operators that you see in Call of Duty. In fact, they were actually supposed to be teachers. I know it's crazy to believe. But that's what their job was. Their job was to train other nations so that way they can fight their own battles, which is what they were supposed to do. Now, can they do a lot of stuff that Navy SEALs do? Absolutely. They have, there's people were talking about CAG versus DevGru earlier in the chat, right? They have Delta Force, which is a specific counterterrorism organization within the Special Forces community in the United States Army. And same could be said about the Navy SEALs, but theirs is not the same as Delta Force. Theirs is based on specific SEAL teams. So, for example, if you're familiar with watching Zero Dark 30, Delta Force don't exist. Yeah, that's the thing. Delta Force doesn't exist, right? But they kind of do. Yeah, they do. But if you look at the Navy SEALs, if you remember watching Zero Dark 30, talk about SEAL Team 6, right? SEAL Team 6 is like a specific tier among the special operations community as far as like you have SEAL Team 1, SEAL Team 2, etc., until they built up to the 6th SEAL Team. And it was almost like a ladder for it's almost like a ladder as far as like which level of special forces team or SEALs they are. And the thing about the SEALs is that if you look at the name, it's sea, air, and land. That's why they had the acronym SEALs, right? So they can go anywhere at any time. There is very few of the SEALs in the Navy as opposed there is to military members in the Special Forces community of the United States Army, which would make sense just because the United States Army is a land-based force. You know what I mean? Navy SEALs, they can go anywhere. But like I said before, they can do a lot of the same stuff. We'll go into that into this video, right? And then your perception on things might change, or your perspective on things might change just as much as mine has. So the biggest thing that I'm looking for is what can each operation do? What can the Special Forces community in the United States Army Green Berets do? And what can the Navy SEALs in their Special Operations community do? And how are they similar and how they're different? We're going to look at that, and then we're going to talk about it at the end of the video. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. And I will pause as I explain stuff along the way, just to kind of better clarify some stuff. So, all right, let's begin.
The commander-in-chief has the entire United States military at their disposal. When it comes to dangerous and sensitive missions, there are certain elite soldiers who can get the job done. The elite soldiers we're talking about are the Navy SEALs and the Green Berets. Each is a Special Forces branch of the military. Let's take a look at the similarities and differences between these two military.
Furthermore, I just want to say I love the animation of this guy's work. These guys are amazing.
Military powerhouses.
That's all I wanted to say.
The name Navy SEAL tells us two things. The first is that this is the Special Forces branch of the Navy and that they conduct missions on.
And before we go on, every branch minus the Coast Guard, as far as I'm tracking, has a special operations community or special operations forces for the branch. So, for example, Marines has MARSOC, which is Marine Special Operations. They are relatively new, I believe, since like 2010. And then the Air Force has Pararescue, which is another video we can probably get in the near future as well.
On sea, air, and land. This is what the acronym SEAL stands for. These elite soldiers are used in direct raids, reconnaissance missions, and action against terrorist forces. The Navy SEALs can trace their heritage back to World War II. During the war, elite Navy...
Bot Thought says it does. Nope, Jad, you're wrong. What do you mean, Bot Thought? What do you mean, Bot Thought? I paused the video because you're talking about I was wrong. What am I wrong on? If there's something that I'm wrong on too, by the way, guys, don't hesitate to correct me, right? I'm still learning as much as everyone else. The Air Force is not only PJs. What do you mean, Bot Thought? Oh, you guys, you're talking about Air Force also has TACP, which is the air traffic control people, right? I know those guys they also are part of the PJs, but I mean, what they're commonly known for is the pararescue. So yeah, air traffic control works the same way. We'll get into that to another video as well. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. That is a potential future video. By the way, YouTube, if you would like to be part of that, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I have to do that plug-in. It just had to. But yes, most common is PJ. Exactly, Slim. Exactly.
Naval soldiers were assigned to naval combat demolition units and underwater demolition teams. The missions they carried out were to disarm
Air Force Seer 2? Oh, I didn't know that, Candy.
These dangerous missions required the best soldiers the Navy had to offer. They were nicknamed frogmen after their green suits and amphibious nature.
And I did not know that they were named frogmen because of that, but it does make sense just because they deal with, like, they can get in like the water is like their camouflage. You know what I mean? They can get underwater and everything else like that. Be involved with, they could be dropped on a submarine and like, they won't know, no one will know where they are or anything like that, especially if they're bouncing from submarine or ship or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Rather than with the Army, whereas they jump out of airplanes, for example. Have you not seen Lone Survivor and them singing the Frogman song? No, I did, Slim. I just was doing it for content purposes. So...
Frogmen rights to the.
And I know that, especially with the airborne community, because of their close relationship with the British forces during World War II, they almost, I would say that they adopted the Maroon Beret during that time as well. I don't know when the Maroon Beret came out, but that's something that's kind of been a traditional history as well, because I know that during World War II, the Royal Marines, or not the Royal Marines, but the British military also had, they were known as like Red Devils, basically. And I know a lot of airborne operations, like with the 82nd and the 101st and things like that, they really had a good close relationship with their British counterparts.
Berets, thus immortalizing the name Green Berets in history. Navy SEALs and Green Berets both have their own requirements for candidacy. In order to become a Navy SEAL, you must have at least 20/40 vision in your best eye and 20.
Now, I will say all the stuff that they're talking about here, this has changed, especially in the Army community, just because as far as physical fitness requirements and everything, the PT tests and everything else like that has completely changed as entirely. Now, especially me as a combat engineer in the United States Army, I also have a secret security clearance. What that means is that I'm privy to secret information, not top secret, not what else is there? I think that's pretty much it. I know there's classified, there's secret, and then there's top secret. Trying to think of it 2 bits, bro. I appreciate it. Would you consider saving the 5th Rangers a style of special operations? Slim, yeah, absolutely I would. Absolutely I would. I just chose Green Berets with Navy SEALs because they are a lot more similar as far as counterparts of each other as opposed to Rangers versus Green Berets, which that could be another talking point as well. We can get into that as well. There is videos we can watch as well and kind of explain as that goes. So SSCI or something. Freedom, are you talking about like super secret squirrel stuff? I don't know what SSCI is. Wait, no. It's fuck, I don't remember anymore. But yeah, I have a security clearance for secret, and the thing about it is that there's a huge process that goes into it. My security clearance does not last my entire military contract. In fact, the last 10 years, which I'm already at over 10 years now in my military service, that I have to go and renew for. And if there's anything on my records as far as like, you know, have I released information that I shouldn't be? Am I posting stuff that's supposed to be considered classified or for official use only, like on TikTok and things like that? So just to point out, Little J says, yeah, it was first worn by the Parachute Regiment in November in 1942 during action in North Africa. It was reported that the color was actually chosen by his wife. Whose wife? Daphne Dumar. Oh, that answered my question. That's why it is a maroon beret. Lil J, thank you for sharing that knowledge, bro. I appreciate that. There is like a classification of top secret called SSCI, I think. Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Freedom. I think there's a reason behind why they call it that. I just don't know what that is. So if anyone can care to share that information, by all means, let us know. Now he's saying if you're in the infantry, regardless with security clearance, it doesn't matter. And I could be a combat engineer, I could be a cook, I could be a medic, and I could also be a part of the special operations community as far as not just being only available to infantry, which I thought that when I was joining the Army. SCI is like an elevated risk of national security. I got it.
Army or National Guard and qualify for airborne training. To meet strength and endurance requirements for the Green Berets, an applicant must complete a minimum of 49 push-ups, 59 sit-ups, run 2 miles in under 15 minutes and 12 seconds, and do 6 pull-ups.
Now, again, I think that the standards have changed. However, they do have their own standards, but with the Army pushing out the Army Combat Fitness Test that we've been doing for a while now, it has not been officially on record. As far as if it's going to be on record for when you go over there and you do it, for the Green Berets, I don't know. Their standards are different just because they are special operations, and what they expect is different than what we would expect, especially being a normal Army branch. SSCI is Social Science Citation Index. All this means is that you have a clearance of some sort. Ah, okay. Thank you for sharing that, Slim. I appreciate that, dog. But yeah, I think they also implement something along the lines of the Army Combat Fitness Tests, which is the latest PT test that we have going out. And there's also plans in the future. I just did a TikTok video about this, about the Army Body Composition Program. Basically talk about height and weight and stuff like that and getting taped. So that's something that could also change a lot of stuff as well. So this is old information, but it's still useful at the same time. The funny thing about the Navy SEALs physical fitness as opposed to the Army Special Forces physical fitness is that physical fitness is critical to be a Navy SEAL. While it is important, while it's good to have, especially in the Army Special Forces Green Berets, right? The way that they look at it is they're not looking for the best candidate. They're looking for the right candidate. And what that means is how's your ability to react on the fly? How's your leadership skills? How are you communicating skills? Are you able to improvise on the fly as well? These are things that we, especially as soldiers and non-commissioned officers in the United States Army, look for your ability to resource, your ability to adapt and overcome, and your ability of being flexible when changes happen. So if you have a clearance, it would show SSCI-TS-EXT. There are 4 levels of secret clearance. Okay. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. I know, what is it? For official use only, classified, secret, and top secret. Is that, would you say that's right, Slim? I'm curious to see what your response is. That's what I think it is. I know secret and top secret are, and I know classified is also one. So that's the only thing I could think of is whether it be declassified or unclassified or for official use only. Because I know there's a difference between for official use only and classified. So for example, like our technical manuals or field manuals or actual classes and specific trainings and stuff like that are for official use only. Okay, so Slim just said TS, which is top secret, secret, confidential, USAP, which is unacknowledged, SAP. I don't know what unacknowledged SAP is, bro. But okay, so that makes sense. Top secret, secret, confidential. So then when we talk about classified and for official use only, then they're not rated as categories or levels of clearance. That makes sense.
Exercises.
So with what you're seeing so far, when they're talking about for Green Beret training, right? Learning a different language, basically from what I understand that they've gathered is, it's not like they say, okay, you have to learn Arabic or you have to learn Chinese or something like that. What they first do is, in order for you to be able to pick up a language, from what I understand, is that they actually have a makeup language of their own. They kind of try and teach you the ways of how to do it, and you have to figure out how to understand it. And then you kind of make it up as you go for what you understand or perceive about that. And basically what they're testing for before you choose a language is what it is like. Are you able to pick up language, like learning language skills easy? Are you able to identify talking points or like, you know, specific enunciations when it comes to learning? Can you read it? You know, if you already have those coming in, you actually, yeah. So you have to take a DLab test and they'll choose a language for you. Yeah, exactly. And in that DLab test, what DLab test is, what they're doing is that, as I mentioned before, they're finding out, you know, are you able to pick it up easy? Are you able to, kind of pick up on the fly as far as what they're able to give you for like visual cues for like fire or ground or grass or water. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff like that. What's up, third grader? You got attacked by a dog. What the hell? How the heck did that happen? How well you can learn a language. Yeah, that's exactly right, Slim. That's exactly right.
Fair, instruction, and security force assistance.
All right, now, as you've already mentioned, right? As I told you guys before about what Special Forces does, they're also teachers, meaning that they train other units in like guerrilla tactics and things like that to prepare other countries for fighting and stuff like that. That security force assistance, right? That part has been taken out from the Special Forces community, but it's kind of tied with it. What they've done is they've made a security forces assistance brigade, meaning that they have interpreters and things like that. They've got brigades that they're like borderline special operations, but they're not like special operations. They don't wear the green beret. Instead, their beret is more of a brown color. Now, Rangers have a tan beret, so it's a different color, right? If you look at the Army berets throughout history of what it represented, black was the standard regular Army, or RA is what we called it. But you have your airborne personnel, which have the maroon beret. Special Operations has a green beret. Now we have the Security Force Assistance Brigade, also known as SFAB, which are basically advisors for countries and things like that. And the whole point of having the SFAB was that the Special Forces community in the Green Berets in the Army, they were wasting too much time on training other soldiers when they could be doing other things such as counter operations or counterinsurgent missions or just even terrorist shit in general, right? Just hunting the bad guys, going behind enemy lines type of stuff. But training other nations and their military and stuff like that, because as I mentioned before, they were a teacher, it was taking up a lot of their time. So that's why they made the security force assistance. This ties in a lot with what we've had going on with Afghanistan, because we've sent SFAB brigades or security force assistance brigades over to places like Afghanistan and Iraq. Iraq seems to be doing okay. As you know, and also the current situation going on in Afghanistan, it's changed significantly. Not that saying that SFAB did a bad job, but we took the horse to the water, but we could not force it to drink. Let's just put it at that.
The squad is deployed based on the geographic focus of the Green Beret platoon. If the squad has been trained in Middle Eastern cultures, they will most likely be deployed to that region of the world.
Don't quote me on this, but I believe the raid on Osama was a joint operation. Slim Reaper, I believe that it was too. And you're talking about, yeah, it is SFAB now, and they're just Gyarados. Oh my God. I don't think they had enough time to train them is all. I agree. S5 went in too late. Yes, the program was a little late in development, but that just comes with the territory of being a military. Like the whole thing about pinks and greens and everything else like that, that took years of development. That's just with the uniform in general. Same thing with the current uniform pattern in the United States Army today. It took years to do it. They couldn't cut a deal with multicam, which I believe that the British did, and that's their primary camouflage pattern, to which we had to create our own. So, yeah, World War II years. Oh my God. Yeah, pinks and greens, by the way, World War II era, which I kind of like. It's kind of cool.
A plethora of different guns.
With a lot of these weapon modifications and things like that they have, they're usually the first ones to try the cool guy gear first, and then it gets passed down to the regular army and things like that. It's no longer that weapon. No, I 100% agree, especially with the United States Army. We still have the M9 Beretta, but it's slowly transferring over into the new Sig Sauer pistol that they've been doing. You believe it's the M17 for Navy SEALs? I don't know what it is either. But if that's what it is, cool.
Most common is the M4A1, which has a 550-yard range and a 30-round magazine.
That is a current weapon that we use in majority of our branches, unless they're rocking like the M16s. The only ones I think that are rocking the M16s are like the Air Force and the Coast Guard, as far as what I'm tracking. Lil J says, apparently there is meant to be a new division in the British Army made of Afghanistan Special Forces, basically a new version of the Gurkhas, but the Gurkhas will always be better. What is the Gurkhas? I've never heard of that.
SEALs have also been known to use the AK-47 along with submachine guns, shotguns, and sniper rifles to supplement the firepower in their squad. The standard issue handgun for the Green Beret is the Glock 19.
I love the Glock 19. I actually used to have one. It's actually, I sold mine to my my wife's sister, my sister-in-law. And the cool thing I had about my Glock 19, it was a Gen 4, was that I was able to change the trigger squeeze of the tension, basically, meaning that the pounds, I don't know exactly the verbiage for it, but basically when you squeeze the trigger, there's a specific amount of pounds per squeeze that you get. Like, for example, it's like 5 pounds. You have to squeeze 5 pounds of trigger, or no, not 5 pounds of trigger, but 5 pounds of pressure in order to release the hammer if the weapon's charged. Mine, I know I upgraded to a lighter one, so it'd be like, I don't know, maybe 3 pounds of trigger squeeze in order to let it to go off. She has it now. I also have a shotgun that I gave to my brother-in-law, which I'm going to be hopefully purchasing in the near future back as well. So you're about to get the new Glock 19 Gen 5. I love it, dude. That's fucking amazing. Hair trigger on a Glock. Oh yeah, man. And that's the thing about the Glock, is the safety is actually in the trigger itself. It isn't like a side lever or anything like that. It's actually in the trigger, which is really good.
Such as the SEAL delivery.
The SCAR 7.62, right? I believe that it is. Now, the M4 shoots a 5.56 millimeter round, and the weapon systems I know that use the 7.62 is the 240, and the 249 uses the 5.56, but it's linked, just like the 240 and the 50 cal. It's all linked up, and you know, it's belt fed and stuff. Let's talk about this, okay? You love this video? Oh, bro, I love it too. It was really good. So let's talk about what we saw so far in the video. Okay, let's share our thoughts about it. Okay, I'll share mine first, and then I would love to hear about yours. Before I got into watching the video, I thought compared between the Special Forces of the United States Army and the Navy SEALs, I thought that Special Forces Green Berets was gonna win it for me, like hands down. Knowing what I know now about what they do, I still think that they're badasses. I still think that they're great, right? Their process is longer and still tough. It is a toss-up, 100%, Slim. 100% it's a toss-up. But the process to be in a Green Beret is longer and tough. I wouldn't say it's tougher, right? It's tough for a long period. But for buds or for being a Navy SEAL, it is extremely tough, but not as bad or not as long as it is to do the Green Berets. So it all depends on like what do you think's more effective, or what do you think you would get a better soldier in? Do you think you would get a better soldier in someone who's going through buds for a shorter period of time, or would you rather? Do you think you'll get a more effective operator from the Special Forces community in the Green Beret? I think that my dad was SF for just over 10 years, and I have some buddies in the SEALs. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you've definitely got a part of the pie in the conversation, Slim. It just depends on the mission. 100%, I agree. What I think is, and we did this with you, the YouTube video for Airborne versus Air Assault that we did last week, was what are we looking at on versatility, right? Special Forces in the Green Berets, they're more of like land dwellers, right? But they can do a lot of stuff as well, and they do joint operations with Navy SEALs. However, with Navy SEALs, they are they are sea, air, and land. So they can go anywhere and anytime, no matter what it is. And they can also jump out of planes just like the Special Operations community in the Army, right? Same with like their Delta Force, right? They have Navy SEAL teams that do specific jobs like that. So I feel like both sides do Halo missions as well. Exactly. That's what I mean to say is Halo missions, which is a high altitude, low opening. They both do stuff like that. So the stuff you see on like Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, and everything else like that, right? It's almost like it's blended of all the branches as far as special operations goes, search and rescue and stuff like that, counterterrorism, insurgencies, hostage situations, things like that. But I find myself leaning more towards the Navy SEALs as being the biggest, baddest guys over the Green Berets. I still think they're great, right? They're still badasses. But I'm leaning, as far as who wins this, I'm leaning towards the Navy SEALs. That's my think. What are your guys' think as far as what you think? And explain it if you can. It helps with the video. I'm going to start using your videos for presentations. This is good knowledge. Slim, I'm actually kind of flattered you would think that, bro. I just have shared experiences from my experience in the military and my understanding of how everything works. So if you do that, bro, I would appreciate that 100%. Yeah. Just tell your friends or whoever to fucking subscribe and like to my shit, dude. Seriously, man. If you want to see this content, I'm not kidding. Like, follow, comment, encourage, push this shit out in the algorithm for the YouTube channel. Definitely the most physically challenged. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is like the Navy SEALs, they need physically fit people right now. Whereas with the Special Forces community in the Green Berets, they don't need a physically fit soldier right now. They are looking for the right soldier, which means they're looking for other things. All right, so let's start from the top. Slim says, I feel the SEALs have the upper hand on my end. I can agree. And the SEALs training is shorter, but harder. Also true. Freedom says, the fact that SEALs have to do 200 push-ups at once amazes and scares me. Yeah, man, they're fucking built different. They're different breeds. It's like Ranger School and Sapper School. Yeah, and both of the military branches have to go through those courses, whether it be, I know they go for Sapper School, and I know that they also, I know for Navy SEALs, for buds, it's like their underwater demolition stuff, which they can do explosives in the water, or under the water, in the ocean, under the sea, Little Mermaid shit, I guess. But there's really, there's a lot you can take away from both sides. But I believe, hands down, Navy SEALs takes it. with an honorable mention to special forces, you know? The SEALs get smoked while getting sprayed with the fire hose. Yeah, that's right. And that's some fucking torturous shit, man. But that's a mind thing. And then there's also the SEER, which is your survive, escape. I can't remember the rest of the acronym, but basically they deal with like survival training and stuff like that, and evading capture and stuff like that. So, but SF is hard as well. The Q course sucks, but the training can last for 3 years. Yeah, and that what also sucks about that is that say you're doing this for about 2 years, and you're just not picking up what they're putting down. You know, that has to be, you feel worthless, you know, for that type of shit, you know, for the constant fucking shit pushing that you're getting in. SEER, survive, evade, resist, escape. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, man.